topic on bamboo and anthrotechnical approach. Please, thank you.
So, first of all, I'm going to shift leg, but not so much. It's kind of dovetail well into the previous speaker. So, for a number of years, me and my friend Byron here has done films, and a little shorter, but quite enough time now we have done films about bamboo. But I'm also an architect, and I'm therefore becoming the technical aspect of working with a sociologist about understanding why and how we can increase the awareness of bamboo in the world. So, I'm Swedish, and every time somebody that hasn't grown up with bamboo, there's a origin story, right? How in hell does a Swede start to become interested in bamboo? I'm quite restless. This is my map of projects over the last 20 years. Something doesn't. Papua New Guinea, as we do sometimes, about 17 years ago. And up in the rainforest, bamboo was used for everything. And what I realized is that, as also Neil Thomas, which has been a co-producer of our film, says bamboo is a little bit of a secret. Either you know about it and don't really care so much about it, or you don't know about it and therefore you can't really care about it. We produced this movie, and this is where I shift leg to be from being only an architect to an architect and a filmmaker. You can find it on YouTube. It has 1.3 million views so far. And it's a little bit of a beginner's film about bamboo. It just talks about the simple stuff that we hear over and over again. So, being a filmmaker and an architect, that means that I can actually make in my filmmaking. I don't have to just record what other people do. We can test things. We can see how bamboo bends. We can see how bamboo act when we're actually building things, right? And I'm going to talk about a couple of projects that I think has been important for us in the beginning. Was this lovely conference slash workshop in Papua New Guinea, where all my students plus 11 international designers, architects and engineers came in. And this is about 2008. The response was quite exceptional for a little conference. We had a follow-up conference in London the next year, which I think is Architecture Association's first bamboo conference. Somebody probably gonna correct me there. But we also had, there was a film made, and it was this lovely structure that was left on campus for a long time. On a personal base, I experiment with a connection that pretty much is what the bikes later on has used. It's a fiberglass connection using bamboo and coconuts to space it. I thought this was all dead. I have been traveling around with this almost like a curiosity in my lecture. And then one of my friends, an artist, came up to my office about a year ago and said, let's do something with it. I have this series of sculptures. So we did a kind of new take on this and send them in for a competition. We were shortlisted, but I think we were not able to give a specific prize, which killed that project. anybody that's been dealing with bamboo for a longer time, we have heard this. Bamboo is just around the corner, right? Next year is bamboo's year, and then it's true. It's getting more and more, but we haven't really get in, especially in the construction side of things. This explosion of bamboo that we thought we had from that I started, and it's funny. Every year it's the same thing. Next year it's going to happen. It's so much things that's going to happen, right? But I think now maybe we are closer to have a little bit of a bamboo revolution for a couple of reasons. I'm going to show things from the film we're going to show later on this evening.
Part of the answer can be found in new methods to better preserve bamboo and in bamboo's essence as a sustainable material. Another part of the answer is found in the rapid development of technology and tools in recent years.
Not only are the tools distributed, they're affordable, more affordable, but they're easy to use, they're easy to learn, and they perform at a high enough level that you could produce anything. It achieve the same sort of tolerances that any sort of high-end factory could.
It's really quite amazing how technology has evolved and how it allows us to deploy these strategies. For instance, 3D scanning has turned to an app on your phone from a LiDAR, from a military application, to something that we all carry with us in our pocket.
And here we can see three major strategies for how bamboo can develop into a viable contemporary material. Development of engineered product that utilizes the inherent strength of the bamboo fiber. Emphasis on joinery and connections that negotiate bamboo's specific material characteristics into contemporary systems. And application of new technologies to better understand, mediate, and utilize bamboo's mechanical performances.
So these three things happen simultaneously, right? First of all, we have learned and we're getting better to glue together bamboo pieces. We're not there yet. We still experiment, but we have done this for a very short time if you're comparing to glue lump. The research is simply not there in the maturity of glue lump product. The other two things have happened very, very quickly, and that is the technology that was used to be very advanced and took almost a basement full of the computer is now we have computing and manufacturing techniques that you can have not only a smaller workshop, but we can actually move it out to the forest. These things are so small and so powerful, so we can actually do things directly out in and in the film, I hope you all come and enjoy it with other people that do this exploration. I'm going to talk about this. I want to talk about two projects that we have done in this, which utilize a little bit of this. And we did both of these projects for the film. Me and my wife, a couple of, I think it's 7 years ago, we bought a farm in Kenya, a little bit for putting the bullet where our mouth had been for a long time. The first thing that happened is that we're planting bamboo, I think an hour, 2 hours after we got the signature on this. We planted 6 clumps of bamboo to test it out. I'm going to fast forward. This is a series of images that you might understand the problem. Look at the earth here. This is a quite steep site. Completely bare. This is what agriculture does to us. It leaves the soil bare, right? So one of the things is that even though it's green in certain places, and when rain comes, when wind comes, soil would disappear. So the first thing we did on this site was to kind of make sure that we keep our soil. We're talking about money here. Soil, what does it cost per sack of soil? And it's topsoil we're losing as well, down to the river. Right? I mean, this is priceless. In the film, you're going to see how much actually we have lost in this property. on the last 30, 40 years. Bamboo grow very quickly. Already a couple of months after we planted, it was covered and the root system has kept us on. This is not really the project I'm going to talk about, but soil and bamboo are going to be important here. As you can see, our house is growing at the top as well. And here is some recent picture from a project that we knew going to take years. We wanted to take years. We don't want to build something very quickly and don't learn when we build. So here is, I can talk more about the other things, the stone that we produce on the site and how we utilize Kenyan craftsmanship. But of course this is about bamboo and how we use our bamboo. One thing, we're talking about new ways to use bamboo, but we also have lost or losing all techniques and technologies that has been in this culture. And this particular project trying to kind of regenerate one of Kenya's lost secret.
Architecture is a composite structure where different materials act in combination.
The technique used here is a mixed technique with timber, mud, and bamboo.
Rammed earth is propped up between vertical posts of timber or larger bamboos. The smaller diameter, or split bamboos, are placed horizontally to serve as a reinforcement. This structure is protected by another layer of mud, plaster, or vertical bamboos.
They were used as fences and also for construction of the houses. You just put the branches horizontally. If you don't have the nails, you just tie them with the strings, and then you mix earth. That is the soil. You mix earth and you put it at the center of the post where you have branches on both sides.
We find similar structures around the world. It is, for example, comparable to the Taiwanese wattle and daub and the Colombian Baroque techniques. And similarly, as in the Qatari roof, the material here has been carefully listened to and is used in a way that optimizes its inner characteristic.
And in some cases, you would not understand that this is a bamboo house because the plaster is so perfectly done. Unfortunately, these are disappearing now, and we see less and less of them.
So I went up to the villages. This technique with bamboo is used up in the highland with a very specific bamboo species that grows up in the highland. And the villagers said, well, this house is 3 or 4 generations old. And when you do research, what you have to learn is to not trust when people say things like that, right? The people are, no, this was here when my grandfather was here. You take it with a pinch of salt, as we say in Swedish. And then my second son was baptized in a church down. It's not built with bamboo and wood. I say it's just wood lattices because it's done in the lowlands where we don't have bamboo. And that church is from the 1890s, right? Same technique. You cannot see that it's a mud wall. So I give them a little credit. And in order for us,
architecture is a composite structure where different materials.
so why is this so important? Let's see.
Bamboo's devaluation is the emergence of iron sheet houses, or so-called mabati, even in bamboo-rich areas. Ironically enough, we find iron sheet houses pushed up directly against clumps of bamboo. One could argue that quality of living increases when building within a more industrialized material palette. But this argument falls flat when we compare these subpar living sheds with the traditional bamboo rammed earth structures that create far better interior qualities in respect of temperature, sound and air quality, and security.
This is Africa's largest slum. All of it is built in steel sheets, right? And my point here is that we had a very, very good technology and we have completely through that. The cost of us building these walls that you saw we started is very, very low. We take the dirt from outside the building, the bamboo that we planted, and we use a little bit of wires, and then chicken wires, and a layer of plaster on top. This is, I think, the most important project we have done so far. It's oddly enough the project that nobody's gonna see. Because the point of this project was not to make a bamboo wall, but to do a wall, right? And it looks like that now. And the idea here is that when we come into our house, nobody can say that that's a bamboo wall, that's a stone wall. And I think that's the point of this. And I think I'm gonna quote Neil Thomas again, because we're being good friends and been working with how to formulate things for a while now. We need to make bamboo invisible in the construction industry. We need to make it so it's not, you don't really walk into a steel house or a concrete house, you're walking into a house that has a purpose. And when bamboo, in all its glory, can only serve bamboo structures and other things, I think we're failing. And that's why I believe that this is the most important project we have done to prove that. Another very important project for me is, I could almost start to say I'm an architect, filmmaker, and a farmer. I get more and more interested in farming, and probably that's where I'm going to wind up in the end. But this is scary, right? We have lost 33% of our agricultural land. Greenhouse effect is one thing, but if we're losing food production land is even more scary, right? This project takes its interest from how to do a system of bamboo that almost anybody can build very quickly, but using technology as the kind of lace in between thing. And it also takes its structure principle for the bat. Anybody that has done greenhouses knows this, but it becoming even more important for our connections in this. So we have three kind of things that works for us in close to our farm in Kenya. We have these wonderful people that can do anything with very few tools in steel and cheap second-hand steel, and we have a huge second-hand market for rubber. This is probably true for almost the whole global south. And then we have bamboo that we planted ourselves. So the idea was to make a joint that make it easy to build by bamboo, but also easy to change when bamboo and if it fails, right? So this is a project that takes its idea from what the land had, but introducing a chain of events where we're using computing and modern technology for manufacturing all the different parts, and then let these parts be easy to cut for anybody, right? And does it work? Yes, because they built wrongly. So when I came out one morning with the prototype, I said we need to change that member. That's the wrong. You have used the wrong bamboo. It took them 10 minutes to change the member in the greenhouse. So this is using kind of modern technology overlapping of what already exists on the site. And I think if you think about that, bamboo is the future. We can work with what we already have and make something new. We can make bamboo talk very nicely with other materials such as glass, concrete, etc. Right? But it's going to take a little bit of convincing. We heard the problem with codes and stuff that we talked about earlier. And that's what I have. Just let them build the structure.
The rubber here is inside the steel connection?
Yeah, and because you have a skin, you can kind of tighten that so it works. It's been up for 2 years now, no problem. That's for me is the answer. Can we do the next one? And we're going to start this Christmas. If you're interested to follow us, we have social media for our films and stuff.
Thank you.